Hey everyone, welcome back to Talking Books. You probably hate the show now, but that's okay because I have a very special guest star. Please welcome William Golding, author of Lord of the Flies.
My name's William Golding, and I wrote this book, Lord of the Flies, in I think it was either 1953 or 1954.
That's great, sir. Now, personally, I believe this book is brilliant, and I just want to know what inspired you to make such a great book.
There have been a great many things said about how it came to be written, and I don't know whether any of them are true or not. As far as I'm concerned, it happened because one day I was sitting one side of the fireplace and my wife was sitting the other, and I suddenly said to her, wouldn't it be a good idea to write a story about some boys on an island showing how they would really behave, being boys and not little saints as they usually are in children's books. And she said, that's a first-class idea, you write it. So I went ahead and wrote it.
Wow. So, why is it that there's only boys on the island? Why not boys and girls?
When girls say to me, and very reasonably, why isn't it a bunch of girls, and why did you write this about a bunch of boys? Well, my reply is, I was once a little boy, I have been a brother, I have been a father, I am going to be a grandfather, I have never been a sister, or a mother, or a grandmother, so this is why I wrote it really about little boys. That's one answer. Another answer is, of course, to say that if you, as it were, scale down human beings, scale down society, if you land with a group of little boys, they are more like scaled-down society than a group of little girls will be. Don't ask me why, and this is a terrible thing to say because I'm going to be chased from hell to breakfast by all the women who talk about equality. This is nothing to do with equality at all. I mean, I think women are foolish to pretend they're equal to men. They're far superior and always have been. But one thing you cannot do with them is take a bunch of them and boil them down, so to speak, into a set of little girls who would then become a kind of image of civilization, of society. That's another reason why they were little boys. The other thing is, why aren't they little boys and little girls? Well, if they'd been little boys and little girls, we being who we are, sex would have raised its lovely head. And I didn't want this book to be about sex. I mean, sex is too trivial a thing to get in with a story like this, which was about the problem of evil and the problem of how people are to live together in society, not just as lovers or man and wife.
Okay, let's just fill out the next question, shall we? What was it that you were envisioning and planning while writing, and what do you think really exemplifies these ideas?
I had very vividly in my mind two pictures. One, and I suppose this is the kind of thing one probably remembers from one's own youth, I don't know, or I may have been thinking of my own children, or I may have seen somebody else's. One is the picture of the little boy who discovers that he actually is on a coral island, because all little boys, or at least all little boys I know, when they play Let's Pretend, the idea of being shipwrecked on an island by themselves, this is fascinating. They think this is fine, because you see, that's a game you can stop any moment you want. And this picture was of the little boy who actually found he was on a coral island, and he was so delighted he stood on his head. And this is one of the ways small boys show they're delighted. They stand on their head and waggle their feet in the air. And that was one picture, and the other picture was of this same little boy crying his heart out, more or less, because he discovered what actually went on, what people were like in society when you don't have law. I think really, perhaps you could say the most important thing said in the book is when Jack says bollocks to the rules, why should we obey the rules, and why should we bother about the rules, and Ralph says, because the rules are the only thing we've got. That really is, I suppose you could say, what the book is about. If you don't have rules, that is to say, if you don't have law, then you're lost, you're finished, you're gone.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, hey, it's the last question. So what do you have to say about all these different interpretations of Lord of the Flies?
There have been so many interpretations of the story that I'm not going to choose between them. Make your own choice. They contradict each other, the various choices. The only choice that really matters, the only interpretation of the story, if you want one, is your own. Not your teachers, not your professors, not mine, not a critic's, not some authorities. The only thing that matters is first the experience of being in the story, moving through it, then any interpretation you like. If it's yours, then that's the right one. Because what's in a book is not what an author thought he put into it, it's what the reader gets out of it.